Hi, I'm Joel from the Amity Affliction, and you're listening to Amp.
So you guys are a long way from home.
Yes.
How does it feel to be in the UK and Europe? Because you've been doing a lot of European festivals recently.
We have. It feels fairly normal at this point.
Yeah?
Yeah. But it's good. It's good to be here. I think last time we were here was like 7 years ago.
Reading?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it's nice to be back.
Yeah.
It's a good festival.
It is a good
It's
festival.
very iconic. The UK has lots of like iconic festivals.
Yeah. It's a good mix, Reading and Leeds, of like
Yeah.
different genres and whatnot. Like it used to be like way more rock centric, and now it's just like an absolute like mishmash of
Yeah, it's excellent.
so many things. But it's a good
Yeah.
vibe.
I feel like maybe social media, for all its ills, has done quite a bit to broaden everyone's musical
Yeah,
horizon.
totally.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah. So how's it been doing the European festivals this summer so far?
They've all been good. I'm trying to think. The craziest one was in Helsinki because it was like a black metal festival.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit strange. It was still cool, but I mean, there were like people in full face paint watching and not vibing.
Like I came in for this and I got this, but
Yeah. They weren't vibing though. But yeah, that was it was still fun. Helsinki's nice. Yeah, Wacken was great. Summer Breeze was great. It's all been great. It's great. It's a
Yeah.
great tour.
You guys got anything else planned after this, or you?
No, I mean we're playing Leeds obviously, and then my wife gets here tomorrow to London with my son, and then I go visit my sister because she lives in Spain, and then that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, some nice chill time. Some well-deserved time off.
Yeah, I think we have like 6 weeks off, maybe. I'm not sure.
Just do what you're told.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so many years of having a schedule, so I'll just, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I get an email like 3 weeks before the shit happens, so I'm like, yeah, sweet.
Oh no, that's that. But some time off. I think that's what you need.
Yeah.
Family time.
Yeah.
So you guys have just announced that literally like in the last 2 days that you're re-releasing a re-recorded version
Yes.
of Let the Ocean Sweat Me.
Yes.
10 years old?
10 years old.
10 years
yes.
old. What
Yeah.
motivated you guys to do that?
Numerous things. One of them for me, I didn't like my vocals on their record. There are some like little tweaks as well, like some lyric tweaks, because the producer at the time was like, oh, you can't repeat that line. And I was like, I was young and I was like, hey, well...
I was feeling some type of way.
No, well, I was just like, listen, the crowd are going to think it's the same line. And he was like, no, they won't. And it turns out that I was right. And so we just changed the line a little bit in the album, on the album rather. There's some mistakes that were fixed up. There were some like stray drums and stray vocals and shit. Like just strange things. But yeah, there's that and the fact that when we were young, we signed a really shit record deal. Really bad. Really, really bad. Like making 12.5 cents on the dollar
No.
before tax.
Just joking.
No. So
That's an Aussie dollar or
US dollar.
US dollar?
But yeah, that's before tax and before they commissioned the 12.5 cents. So anything we ever did from Youngbloods up until Misery, we may as well have just pissed into the wind. So we've put it out independently, and Pure Noise are being cool and helping us out in America and over here in Europe and the UK, I think. So it's good. We're with an indie label and it's fantastic.
No, I'm really excited because like, that was one of the first albums that where I discovered you guys. I remember seeing you support Of Mice and Men.
Oh, no way.
2014.
Yeah, I know that tour. Yeah.
And I remember the only song I'd heard at that time was Pittsburgh, and I remember that's seeing you guys live for the first time, having only known that one song, and I was just there right up ever since.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm so excited to
Thank you.
hear that kind of re-release of that album.
Yeah. It's Dan said he was like, you sound angrier and just more aggressive. Because it was fun. It was fun going and re-recording, and it was like much more straightforward than usual because we already knew what to do. So it was pretty easy. We were just in a house at the beach for 2 weeks. I'd wake up, go play golf, come home, eat some food, walk into the bedroom where we had the mic, do a song, go to sleep, repeat. So it was excellent.
Yeah. No, yeah, like I said, I'm so excited. Yeah. So you guys obviously, it's to no one's surprise, who's obviously an Amity Affliction fan, you cover quite a lot of like quite heavy topics.
Yes.
One thing I just wanted to say before I kind of carried it with my question, really, is last year I had like a person in my family die for the first time ever, and I remember music is such a big part of my life, right? Like it is for so many people that are fans of Amity and like heavy music and whatnot. And I was like wanting to listen to music but didn't know what to listen to, and Amity was the first like band I like went back to.
Oh.
And you guys, like, again, it's not like a question thing, it's just more of I've got the opportunity now to say thank you to your face for that, because it was like the hardest time in my life and whatnot, and you guys like really got me through something. But you guys talk about things like death and suicide and obviously like gun violence in the US and whatnot, like in such a candid like way.
Yeah.
Whereas so many other artists not tiptoe around it, but will do it in a so much more metaphorical way. Like for you, why is it you choose to do it the way you do it in covering those topics?
Because it's what I experienced, and you can see a shift kind of after Let the Ocean Take Me, where I stopped trying to give songs a happy ending. Because even on Let the Ocean Take Me, it's kind of like down, 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 but everything will be okay. And I don't feel like that. And I'd rather be frank. I'm a pretty frank person, pretty straightforward. And I like it that way. I think, I enjoy musicians that can speak in metaphors. I think it's a skill and a talent, and it's beautiful and everything. But I also think sometimes some topics need to be addressed as they are. Yeah. And for me especially, it's like being on stage, recording not so much for me. I don't really enjoy it because it's like, I don't know if you've ever said the same word too many times in a row and you start thinking that's not a word.
Doesn't make sense, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, is that a word? You say something about weather and weather and you fucking lose your mind. That's what recording is for me. So it strips every word of any meaning, and then we get on stage and it's like, the first tour after any album is like a very surreal experience. Yeah, I go really down after the shows because it's so emotional.
It's that kind of emotional come down.
It is. Yeah, it is. And that's. I guess I'm selfishly writing for myself, knowing that it's going to help me.
No, but you've got to speak. You've got to write from like what you know, and then if people who are relating to those topics will come and find you naturally. So I don't think necessarily it's like a selfish thing. I think it's right from what you know, and there are people out there that have those same or similar experiences and can identify. And
exactly. And I think that's the important thing is, and I've made sure over the course of our band to not write political lyrics really, even though I'm very engaged in politics. Just because I don't, mental health problems they're not political, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, the worst person you know and the best person you know can be suffering from the same thing.
Absolutely.
So it's the music's for everyone is how I feel. So you're right that it's not selfish to write it, and I always have that in mind, that someone out there is going to be feeling the same way I'm feeling. And it could be just the song that they need to hear on that day. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, like when I went through what I went through last year, like you were just what I needed. Like I'd always been a fan, but like I found like Amity was just what I needed, like right then and there in that time. In the way like you write about death in like a comforting but still very real way. Like I was like, no, death is shit. Like I want to find some comfort in it, but like I also want someone to tell me, yeah, it's shit. Like you don't have to like get up the next day and just get on with it, like
no, you don't.
because you can't, and if someone's telling you to do that, then they're a fool kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. There are a robot, an arsehole, or a fool.
Yeah.
3 options.
So obviously you guys are re-releasing Let the Ocean Take Me, but is there anything else Amity have got coming up that you care to share?
We're already writing, so
Nice.
That's well and truly underway now. For us, it's Dan writes all the music, so he kind of gets burnt out at the end of each record, but we almost immediately we get the mixes back and signed off, and then we start talking about the next one, and then it's like maybe a 12 to 18 month period of discussing and figuring out what we're going to do, and then he writes. I don't stop writing lyrics, so by the time the album comes around, I've got like 20, 30 songs written. I already know what I'm writing about. It's a bit of a themed album. Probably be helpful for people with shit parents. I'd put it that way.
There we go, there's an Amped exclusive right there.
Yeah.
Right, so another thing we like to do when we do our interviews is we like to do like specific quick fire questions.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty loaded, but we'll see how you feel.
Okay.
What is your favourite album of all time? With no skips, you've got to listen to it from start to finish.
Tropic Rot by Poison the Well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some people really struggle with that kind of question.
I listened to that. I did it the other day.
It's like one of those albums I say to people, I'm like, if you could like have an album be like physically part of you, like what would it be?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, Tropic Rot.
Do you have any concert or festival icks, like things people do that you absolutely hate and you wish you didn't see?
Being really drunk. Very annoying. Now that I'm sober, I've been that guy. I'm like, I get secondhand embarrassment for myself. Maybe I'm just like looking at them like, oh no.
When you know they're not going to remember the next day.
Well, there's that, and I'm just like, oh fuck, like I did that, like I was the guy. Yeah. I think that's more of a mirror problem. Yeah.
No, but it's true though. I would wholeheartedly agree with that. It's not a nice thing to see. It gets on your nerves, and you know.
It's more backstage. It's
really.
Yes. I don't give a fuck what they're doing out the front.
They're not in my space.
No, they're not in my space, and they're here for a good time. You know. It's just when people are like a bit sloppy drunk and I don't know. I've done it. It's like
been there, done that. Got the T-shirt.
I don't know what time it is, but I'd be wasted by now.
It's past midday.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And what is your favourite song to perform this weekend, and why?
I See Dead People, just because it's just a good song.
That was the song for me last year.
Oh, right.
That was the song for me.
Yeah.
And final question, what is one thing you wish you saw more of in the kind of alt-heavy scene that you don't see enough of?
Wow, that's a loaded one. More equity and more open embrace of, like, more of an open embrace of everyone that makes the entire scene tick. Because there are a lot of people who get to a certain stage in their career and think that they have opinions that are right and don't realize that opinions are personal and that you can keep things to yourself, but you can also embrace people that are different to you. So I would say more inclusion and more equitable, just a more equitable kind of industry, because it's top heavy with men.
Damn straight. Experience been that. That's been my life experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were just talking about this last night at the Heavy Music Awards, and I guess one of the Sex Pistols' sons is in Wargasm, and we were just saying it's such a sort of a two-edged sword, because it's like he obviously loves music, but no one will ever take him seriously because he's the son of a Sex Pistol. And that's the same thing that women experience. Like, why are you here? How'd you get here? Like, what did you do to get here?
Yeah.
Like, I worked to get here. What did you do? And it's just like, fucking worked.
No,
like,
I've had that. That happened to me for the first time. I was shooting and writing Not Blue's show last year, and I got asked who I was dating in the band, and it's always been like a joke in the industry of like, oh, like you get asked that all the time, but I'd never been asked it, and I got asked it for the first time, and I was just there like didn't know what to say. I was there like, no, like I'm actually here off my own back, like
Yeah.
I don't really know how to respond to that.
Yeah, see, and you shouldn't have to. So that's what I would like to see less of, and see more. It should just be fucking normal, because it is normal. It's so insane to me that there's there's gender roles in the music industry. Like, why? Why? It's not gender specific. Like, none of it. Like, what, being creative is not gender specific. Like, being intelligent and writing is not gender specific. Fucking operating a camera isn't. Like, what the fuck? Like, that just blows my mind. It's something I've never understood. You know, you look around, there's lots of women at this level, and then once you get above it, invariably at some point it becomes all men. It's like, it's fucking 2024. Like, so many industries have gotten rid of the glass ceiling, but not music. And that's the way female artists are treated, the way gay artists are treated, the way especially now trans artists are treated. Like, all of this shit doesn't need to be like that. Like, you can just not fucking...
It's not hard to not be a dickhead.
Yeah, and just don't listen to them if you don't like them.
Yeah, no one's forcing you.
Yeah, like, that's what I do. I'm like, I don't like that band.
Yeah, if you don't fuck with it, that's cool, but if you do, then that's awesome. But you no need to be a hater.
Exactly.